inside and
Sweet Home Alabama, play it! You guys shred! 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 You guys shred!
Welcome to You Guys Shred. When more than one of your band members is named Isaac, you steal your first bass from your middle school teacher, and you join a band 2 days before they leave for tour. I am your host, Keaton Stewart.
I'm your co-host, Tyler Christensen.
If you guys like what we're doing and want to support the podcast, it really helps out if you subscribe, share, and review. You can find our own musical project, Poet Bones, on all your preferred streaming platforms. We have a new song out called Back of My Mind.
Back of Le Monde.
Back of Le Monde. Back of Le Monde. So go to hell.
Baguette.
Today's guests are some really cool human beings doing some cool things. You know what I'm saying? They're just out there and they're doing them. And they got a new single out called Get Away featuring Carter from Sunfish. You know him. He's been on here. I don't know what number because that'd be like a psychopathic thing to know. Please enjoy No Jure. So normally we start with like how we know the guests, but this is the first time we're all meeting. Yeah. And the first time I like found out about your band is actually our mutual friend Carter, who you guys just put a song out with, Get Away. And I don't remember when it was, unfortunately, but I remember him being like, dude, check out this song, and like, and then because we were talking probably about Blue or something, he's like, dude, check out this song I did with my friends, and showed me like, dude, that's cool, that's really sweet. So how did that kind of come about?
Well, I guess
because you used to play bass with Sunfish, right?
I did. I
simple
played,
guitar.
Yeah, basically. Simple guitar. And he kind of he's always been kind of like a really good homie to us, and kind of like showing us like how to like do things like put music on Spotify and like how to promote a release and stuff like that. And so I always like kind of showed him the stuff that I was working on, that we were working on, and he really liked that song, and so he was like, bro, like you should like.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
He's like, bro, you should like let me get on this song.
Okay, so I was wondering if you guys wrote it with him or something like that. So you already had it written, then he came in.
We kind of did write it with him. We had it like, we had a version of it written, that he liked, and then obviously, you know, when you take stuff to Blue, it gets rewritten and reshaped. And all that, and so. He came into the studio with us, and he had a hand in like how it kind of came together. In the
right.
end.
So you guys brought in the skeleton, and then you're like, let's make it better and go from there. Yeah,
yeah,
that's just how it goes. Yeah, which is cool. But that, I mean, that track turned out great. You guys just released that. It's going good.
Yeah, it's so good. It's been honestly so surprising. Yeah. It's.
Why is it surprising?
I mean, I guess. Maybe it shouldn't be so surprising, but
a good song's a good song.
Yeah.
You got me there.
Carter also mentioned that you guys had played it live together. Yes. Was that before it was even released?
Yeah.
That's cool. So it was like a nice little kind of sneak peek for that. Was that at Kilby Court?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember seeing pictures from that.
Yeah, it was fun.
Do it again.
Okay.
You plan on doing it again?
Yeah. Honestly, anytime we play a show with Sunfish, I'm sure we'll probably have him up there. Even though we even did it one time when he wasn't, or Sunfish wasn't on the bill. The other time we played Kilby, he was there.
He was just there. Right. Yeah.
He hopped on and played it with us, which was cool.
That's awesome. I guess kind of going back then and just starting at the beginning, how does No Jure start?
I mean,
I think it starts with an N.
Well, it's not capitalized. Is it capitalized?
Depends on the context.
So you guys really don't like jurors. So here's the thing, I got it in the mail. I had to be a juror.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, no juror.
Do you want the full story?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what we're doing. Let's get it on record.
Okay. Where do I even start?
Is it school? You guys meet in school?
Well, it was before, because there was like 3 versions of this band before it is what it is now. Like, it started out 2018, I believe. I was in high school, and I was just, wanted to start a band after going to Sundance and seeing the Joan Jett Bad Reputation documentary.
Oh wow, so
Yeah.
that's what like sparked you. So you hadn't
Yeah.
been in any bands or played music before, or just
Well-
like in your house by yourself?
Funny you say that. No, I've always been into music. First instrument I picked up was the drums when I was as little as I can remember, you know. And I was in a band when I was like 7 years old. Some teenage boys.
Yeah,
I was their backup drummer.
because
And
every
then
drummer's in 20 bands.
pretty.
Isn't that right, Isaac?
Yeah, that's
Anyways, I've always been into music. Love drums. That's, you know, my baby right there.
Yeah.
But then get into high school,
Mhm.
start a band. Chaos. Pure chaos. It sucked.
Singing, already starting
I
with
was
singing.
actually drumming and
Oh,
singing.
drumming, okay.
So I was doing both, and then went through various members.
Yeah, I
Turned
mean
into-
every band
yeah.
has the growing pains. You
Yeah.
gotta find the right people.
That was really fun.
But y'all went to high school together then?
Besides
What high
Yeah,
school?
we went
Yeah.
to
Shout it out.
Syracuse.
Syracuse High.
Syracuse High.
No,
Yeah.
Okay, now just if you want to tell any teachers you hate, just list them off now. The ones that told you guys go nowhere.
Yeah. How did we? It started with you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was dating this girl. I like just stopped dating this girl at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and she knew that
Was
I.
her name also Isaac?
Yes.
Yeah. It was Isaac. It was actually this Isaac. We had like just broken up, but she was still like talking to me, and she'd known that like I wanted to like start a band and like do that kind of thing, and she.
I had
Yeah.
science with her,
Yeah.
chemistry with her actually.
She was in her chemistry class,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Oh, I know someone that." She said bass for some
Yeah.
reason. It's like I know someone that plays bass.
She just thinks that's what the drums are
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
So it's got a bass drum.
yeah. She plays something. So she.
It's true, she did.
She told me to message her,
Uh-huh.
and I did, and I just kind of. I ended up going over to her house, and.
How did it not look weird though to be like sliding into her DMs and be like, look, I just want to play music? Like what did it come? How did he approach you?
Honestly, it's been so long, I can't even remember.
Well,
But
I mean, you gotta just
I
let's
mean-
scroll back now. We got time.
I was eager, you know, I wanted more people in the band because we were actively looking for people with the then members. We needed a
Oh, so
bassist.
did you even know that they had a band, or was it just a person on their own? You're like, oh, this person on their own has music.
I didn't even know that she had a band.
Oh,
already.
wow.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, she just told me like, oh, like she plays drums, and she's looking for
Okay,
people to
that's
be,
cool.
to be in a band.
Was the name always No Jure, or was this something?
No.
Yeah, that's how it goes. All right.
Yeah.
What were some of the band names?
Say,
Let's
yeah.
hear.
Oh my! So we
Yeah,
didn't
love
have
it,
a
love
band name for a long time, but we went by. God, this is so dumb.
No, tell us. I love
The
it.
Savants.
The Savants. That's cool.
Yeah.
Change it back.
No.
Was there other bands named Savants or something?
I don't even know. I think we all came to the conclusion that it just was like really.
You had to move
boring.
past it, yeah.
It was dumb.
Is that the first thing you did when you came in, Isaac? You're like, let's
This
fuck
band
this
name
name.
sucks.
There's way too much Jure in this band.
Yeah.
Very good. So it starts with you two,
Basically,
probably some other band members. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right? They're not
Pretty
here
much.
anymore.
Yeah.
They're listening to this right now. Like, ah!
Yeah.
Probably. So then when does second Isaac and
Well,
Brandon come in? To
Then
the picture?
Brandon.
So-
Oh, okay, so then you're third. Okay.
Yeah, I actually, he was in my math class.
I love it,
We were
yeah.
like doing like some get to know you thing, and my thing was like, oh, I play
Right.
guitar, and he was like, and I literally, at the time had like, we were like looking for a bassist, and I had like in my bio like, hey bassist, hit us up. And he was like, oh yeah, I play bass, and I was like, oh sick. And then like,
Leaned over.
yeah, and he had to be like, you should let me audition for your band, and I was like, oh yeah.
Did you already play bass or guitar?
Yeah, no, just bass. Bass was my instrument. Like,
Oh
I
wow,
mean,
so you guys lucked out then.
yeah, I started with guitar, but then I was like, I like the bass more. It sounds cooler for me, and in my opinion, I just really like that instrument more
Right.
than a guitar.
Well, I just in the context, because usually like high school bands, it's usually the one kid doesn't want to play bass. They're
Yeah.
like, look, dude, someone's got to do it, and they get forced into it. So it's cool that you already played bass.
I've always gravitated toward it. The sound is just like, I just love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So then, when does Isaac come in?
Ooh.
Just shortly after? I mean,
No.
second Isaac.
We've got there's a little bit of a
Was there drama?
not drama, well sort of.
It was drama.
Yeah, it's a little bit of drama. Like
Don't sugarcoat it.
yeah, We like.
Is it okay to talk about? Or?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
It's not gonna name names,
It
obviously.
was
but
really dumb.
You know who you are.
It was this guy named Isaac.
that
So
damn
many
Isaac.
And he, no, his name was not Isaac. But like we were like super. Yeah, I know you guys maybe thought he was. It was super dumb. It was like the main issue, or the main reason this happened is just because we were like super stupid and eager to like do stuff. But we had like, I found this guy on Instagram that was like local, and he was like doing interviews with bands. And I was like, that sounds fun. Like I want my band to be on that.
Mhm.
So we like went to his house and did the little.
Yeah, I saw it.
He basically was like, yo, we're doing a tour.
Mhm.
You guys should like get on the
So,
tour with us.
At this point, had you all played shows before?
We had literally played one show.
And then it just into a tour.
Yeah.
That's when I was still the drummer and the singer.
Oh,
So
okay.
he hasn't even.
So you were
in the
Isaac.
equation. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
also Isaac. I was Isaac for about 2 years, and then just like a year ago. we
And then
picked
he
him
just
up.
came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I was just there, man.
We just, it was just there,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly.
So he asked you to come on this tour.
Yeah, and we were like,
You're like, yeah, of course, I'm on tour.
Especially since this was like just like after it had started to become acceptable to do things like
Again, right, like
Yeah,
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were like,
So,
our
sorry to just back up real quick. It was MHM out then, or no music out?
No, Crown and MHM was.
I think the Crown and MHM had been out at that point.
Oh, okay, so that song's not even on Spotify.
No.
Okay, so Cover My Eyes and all, yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it was just MHM and
Yeah.
The Crown, which we can't hear anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's on Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah.
It's on Bandcamp. Okay,
It's
yeah,
on
so
Bandcamp.
go check it out on Bandcamp. He's like, I like that song. So he asked you, sorry.
No.
I digress. So he's like, let's go on this tour.
Yeah, and we were super eager because like of all that stuff having
Right.
happened, and like the last show we had played was our first one, and it was before all that stuff happened in like January of 2020.
Mm.
So we were like, yeah, like
Let's
that sounds,
go.
that sounds
Yeah.
awesome, especially because he was like, well, we're gonna go to Denver and Idaho, and we're gonna go to California.
I like how you said
So
Idaho. Idaho.
Yeah. And we were just like, yeah. So like we're like, okay, we've always wanted Tegan to be up front and like singing as like,
Right.
the vocalist, because you connect more with people that way, and it's
It's difficult too.
Yeah, it's not
That
fun being the
scene,
front
like,
man, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
You
It's not
can only
easy.
do so much until.
Oh, being on
yeah.
the drums and singing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
until you're just completely exhausted and you can't play these intricate parts while you're trying to sing, and it turns into a goddamn mess. So,
Well, you were just doing lead vocals too. Was anyone doing backup vocal? No, it was
I
just
mean,
you and the
Brandon
backup.
would sometimes like do screams and stuff, but like
It was
other than
mainly
that,
just
it
you
was
back there.
It's just me sitting back there on the drums and trying to lean over and hit the fucking mic a couple times.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
that
like,
was
this is so
embarrassing.
exhausting. That's so cool though.
Yeah.
Commendable.
Yeah.
So then you're like, we need a drummer for
Pretty
this
much.
tour.
Yeah.
And there was this guy that I knew that I was friends with, that I had jammed with a little bit, and I was like, hey bro, like, you should join our band.
Mhm.
And he was like, man, like, I'm in a tough spot right now, so I can't really like, I don't really have the time to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically. But he was like, there's this guy, and I had known about Primal, like, before, because I'd seen him on Instagram, and I was like, this is a cool band.
Right.
We both got asked to be in their music video, and I don't remember what happened with that because
Is
I
that
knew
one-
of you guys.
Is that the one we were just talking about? With Tim?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
whole band, yeah.
Yeah.
But y'all were in that music video that he filmed? Oh,
We
no,
asked
you just got
them.
asked.
Yeah, we got
And you guys like, nah, dude.
I really wanted to, but I couldn't, so I was just
I don't,
like,
I don't remember why I didn't, but yeah, that's how I knew of Primal.
And so he was like, dude, you should ask this kid Isaac, like, he's super cool. And so
Right.
we did, and we had him over.
Also slid into his DMs.
Slid
Yeah.
into it. He was like, hey, bro.
Hey bro, we got a tour.
Yeah, we have a tour. And he was down, and so he came, and like we jammed, and we were like,
It just clicked instantly.
yeah, it was really cool. I really liked something that I noticed immediately, because we were just, at that time, we were just barely kind of starting to ease into writing the stuff that we really wanted to write.
Mm.
So,
Right, because
like,
you were going through the growing pains and trying to figure
Yeah.
out your sound, trying to get to that spot of your influences, I guess, coming through, the sound you want to get to.
Yeah.
So what did it sound like before then?
Well, I think she definitely has a lot of classic rock and classic metal influence, at least to my ears,
Yeah.
with drumming.
At least starting out too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like heavier or anything.
I mean, it was a little bit, but it wasn't as heavy as what we're doing now.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more stagnant.
Yeah, I mean,
So when he came and he had a snare tuned super high and he had these
Yeah.
the dog call.
Lars Ulrich over here.
he was doing the double kick shit and I was like,
You're like,
"Oh,
yes!
yeah, and then like as is probably predictable, the tour did not happen.
Oh, okay. So it just ended up falling through, or you
Yeah.
just got dropped off and they went anyways?
No, we
I played with them, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do this," and then we kind of didn't hear anything back.
Yeah, we
for like a year.
were just like we don't have time to like work this out because he only knew like a couple of songs at the time because we didn't really act fast enough in trying to like prepare for that stuff.
Interesting.
And so we kind of were just like, yeah, like we should probably just kind of do this and then like hit him up later or something. And so yeah.
Yeah, not try to like force it
No.
or anything. Just, yeah.
Well,
Sorry for ghosting you.
Yeah.
For like a
we
year.
played one show
For a
on the
year,
tour.
dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What show was that?
It was at the Boardwalk.
How
Right? Or was
How-
it 2 shows?
We played 2 shows.
Oh, we played 2 shows.
and how did your first show go?
That's not the one.
It was
that I
honestly, yeah, that's the one you came to.
Okay.
It was honestly really bad. It was
Like,
So you were still playing drums then?
yeah, I was
Okay.
still doing drums and singing for those 2 shows on the tour.
So put off.
No, it
Yeah.
was all just like, it was so chaotic. And trying to deal with everything because we did run into issues. Like, not only like the venue, but also just with hosting the tour. There was just some small
Right.
issues that we ran into, and we're like, we don't really want to play the rest of this. Let's just hop off.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we've also done the poo poo tours, and we know how that goes.
Yeah.
And honestly, props to you guys for knowing that, because most people were like, no, we got to go through it, and then they end up suffering, and then because of things like that, usually you'll see bands break up because they're like, this is ridiculous. Why? But you guys are adult enough to be like, maybe we don't do this. Maybe we step back, which is smart because you guys are still together.
Yeah.
So your guys' sound is like, I like it. I like it a lot because it's, you got like these really cool like musically or sonically, you got very heavy, like energetic, vibes going on. But then you have your voice, which is also very smooth and like almost soothing to it. And then of course, props to you as well because then you can scream as well, which is no easy feat. I don't know if anyone's. Like, I've been in a couple bands where it's so hard that you just get one clean singer and one screamer to do because it's hard to transition back and forth. So how was it for you going from the drums then to being the front person? Because for my own experience, it's so awkward because you're so used to being behind your instrument or something else. So then you're filled naked, no drums.
Exactly.
You just got the vocals. How was that?
It was a weird, awkward experience at first because I don't have the drums to sit behind and feel comfortable. I'm standing there in front of everyone and I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Right, you're
just
like, I
stand
have to
here?
sing, but also I gotta somehow move around. I gotta do banter in between songs, so it's not awkward. So how did that first show go when you're not behind the drums?
It was awesome, honestly. We played at Black Lung with Isaac here, and Izzy, I guess. Drummer Isaac. No, it was awesome. Like so much more energy and being able to connect with the audience more. For those who decided to stay.
But you kind of found your voice then without being like able to move around and stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just the more shows we play, I feel like each time we've all progressed and gotten better each time. Like the last Kilby show we played with Sunfish that was sold out. Insane. It was absolutely insane. Like it was packed front to back, right? And I have these bum ass little set lists that I printed off. And I'm handing out, and everyone's fighting over like, I get it,
Yeah, you're
and I
like,
was like
"What?"
overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't want to hand these out anymore. There's people taking pictures, and like it was unreal.
Yeah,
That moment, you're like, okay, maybe I'm finally actually going somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe
the
we're finally
switch.
starting to succeed, as much as I miss playing the drums, it's so nice not being stuck behind them.
Mhm.
And we also have a good drummer, so it makes everything a lot easier
Right.
and just more fun. And I've had people come up to me and be like, "Oh, we really miss you on the drums." And I'm like, "Okay, you
Get
try
fucked.
it." Like, okay, maybe, you know, once in a blue moon I can hop on the drums for one song.
Yeah, and then Isaac will go up front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd totally be down for that.
I'll
But,
sing up there.
yeah, no, at first it was just like a really weird and alien experience, like having to stand up and just look at everybody and be like, "Oh fuck,
Yeah.
here we go."
So what was like your guys' worst show or tour experience then?
When we had
Any-
Black at Black One.
Brooklyn.
Oh.
So what happened? So what's going on?
Oh, I mean, okay.
It was on like a Wednesday or something.
Oh,
Well,
a weekday.
I don't even know what day it was, but just
And it was stormy.
terrible
Yeah.
lineup.
Terrible. What does that mean?
There was like a rapper on there.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then,
just like mismatched
Yeah,
musically.
and then just like all his homies were there, and then they all dipped, so there was like
Mm-hmm.
10 people, and we're just like, all right. Well,
Oh,
you know,
so by the time you all go on, they all, yeah, I hate that, yeah.
And the other band that was on there was a touring like pop punk band, so it was
Were they in the middle?
they.
I think they headlined.
I think they did headline.
So when they played, everyone was gone?
Yeah, it was a.
Are we talking about the Black Lung show or
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't the Beehive show.
the Beehive show?
We're
We're
talking-
talking about
Wait, this has happened multiple times?
unfortunately.
Oh, no.
When we-
I feel like it's a
yeah.
pretty touring band
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Playing with the small touring band experience.
Yeah,
But it's you know
yeah.
that's part of it, you know.
Usually you want to put them in the middle. I
Yeah.
feel like that's the smart move, is you put them in the middle and then have a local that actually has brought the people headline, so then people
Right,
stay.
so people stay. Yeah, I don't know why that went the way it did, but yeah, that was weird. That was a weird show.
No,
Um,
and when we headlined the Black Lung show, there were like 5 bands on the bill. So by the time we got to the
Oh, was it like midnight?
yeah, and then there were like 5 people there.
Oh.
It
At
was
least there was
really-
5 people then, not
Yeah, I
0
was like,
people
thanks
there.
for staying and not being an asshole. Like, I get it if you gotta go somewhere, you know, but like, it was just so degrading.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, I mean,
like-
we've all played them. That's
yeah,
what the podcast
exactly.
is about.
You have to play those shitty shows.
Yeah.
So you can go play a sold out show with someone for shit.
Right, so that way you appreciate it when you get those and it
Exactly.
Yeah.
switches over.
Exactly. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah. Luckily, you've only had to play a couple of them.
Yeah,
Some of us played a lot of them.
I feel we've been pretty lucky having some pretty decent show experiences.
Right.
I feel like our time will come, I'm sure, for you know, our day
Yeah.
of reckoning. But you know, we've had pretty good experiences so far.
Mhm.
I feel like.
So how did you ended up doing some touring with Sunfish, right?
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
We had played a show with Sunfish at Y Sound in Logan, and I guess at the time their bassist, they really weren't wanting to bring him on the road. They were having some issues with him.
Right, this is
members.
before Kip, right?
Yeah, before
Yeah.
Kip. Yeah, Kip is cool, homie,
Yeah.
super sweet. But yeah, this was not Kip, and they were probably 2 days from leaving for the tour, and he called me and was like, "Hey, dude,
Please help.
yeah, can you please go come on tour with us?" And at first I was kind of like, "Man, like I don't think I can because I got my
It's
job."
last minute, right?
Yeah, like
2 days notice.
I'll definitely lose my job, and like I don't know. And I sorry.
He just flashed back to that time he's dying.
Oh my god. Yeah.
He's like, it was just like, I mean, like the Vietnam, like this helicopter going by and stuff. Yeah, yep, Fortunate Son's playing.
I literally, I messaged you about it, because I was like, I really want to do this, but I really feel like I'm gonna screw myself over, and she was basically just kind of like, bro, if you don't do this, I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, that's such a
like-
good friend, yeah. Because life's short, you gotta do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you'd be living the rest of your like, oh, what if, or I should have done that.
Yeah.
And then also you're helping your homies out too.
Yeah, and I got so much experience. It was like really cool. I ended up taking the train down to like where Carter's at, because we were leaving from his house. And I called my boss on the way there and was like,
I'm not coming in tomorrow.
yeah, I was like, hey,
Yeah, I love that,
I'm
yeah.
leaving for 2 weeks. I'm sorry. And he was like, yeah, that's cool.
I thought you were gonna make something up like, yo, my mom died.
Yeah.
And then like when you come back, your mom like picks you up or something. That's my other mom.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
So yeah,
You didn't make an excuse though. You just like straight up was honest with him. That's cool.
Yeah.
And he was cool about it. That's sweet.
yeah. It was less he was cool, and he just really did not care. He was just like, because when I came back, he was like, how was your concert?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
I was like, well, it was like 12 concerts.
It was 2 weeks, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think I was doing?
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool.
How many songs do you have to learn in 2 days?
Like 10. Like, I don't know if I played full 10.
10.
Maybe like, yeah. I don't know exactly. I'm like
So you're just like cramming to right before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just playing bass for 2 days straight.
yeah. I had known a couple of the songs beforehand, so that kind of helped me fill in the gaps. But yeah, other than that, I just kind of learned the rest of them in the couple days that I had, and then he just taught me the rest, like the day before.
Right, and that's recent though, because we played like an acoustic show with them, and they had a completely different lineup. And then by the time it came back around to hang out and play shows and whatever else again, I was like, you have a whole new band. What? what happened? So that was recent, right?
Yeah, yeah. I joined in like February of January 2022. I mean.
Yeah.
And then I played for about 8 months, and then it was, Sunfish is going.
Yeah,
so
they're going hard.
They're doing a lot of touring, and I was kind of like, man, like, I got stuck. Like, I was barely working, so I had like no money, and
Right.
I was,
And you have another band as well.
yeah, I had another band, and stuff wasn't going well for me, like in my personal life. So I was like, I want to do music, but I need to like
Take a step back.
I need to take a step back. So I was like, hey man, and he was super cool about it.
Right.
And he, he's on the song with us and stuff. He was a homie, and yeah, I just took a step back because I really, this is the band that I care about.
Right. Not that you don't care about Sunfish.
Yeah,
just
right.
that obviously this is your
It's just
band,
like, yeah,
right?
this is-
You're
yeah,
not playing
this-
other people's bands.
It's
Yeah.
completely like we played a couple of really cool shows on tour, but like
Right.
none of that is as cool as when we played a sold out Kilby show.
Right, because it's your music.
Right.
There's the difference between that. I completely understand. I've been hired guns for other bands. You're like, this is cool. I mean, I'm playing to 2,000 people, but it's not my music, so it doesn't connect the
Right,
same way.
right.
Versus you're playing to 30, 50 people, whatever it is, that are like singing your words.
Exactly.
That, like, I'll take that every day, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's, I mean, I don't know if we've ever said this before, but every band that we have on the podcast, we believe in, and we think are moving the needle forward and doing cool things. We don't have people on that we don't think are cool and going somewhere. You know what I mean? So
That's
yeah,
good to hear.
I need to see you guys live for sure. But keep seeing your photos and love what you guys are doing musically. Speaking of music, you said you had a bunch of new tunes. When can we expect some new tunes?
Next one we don't have a set date for, but less than 2 months.
How many songs have you guys got like in the can?
We've got one finished, and next there's one that we're gonna be going to archive recordings to.
Do drums?
Do drums and guitar actually.
Okay.
And bass.
With
everything.
Bluesive?
Yeah, with Mr. Blue.
Bamboo Audio.
Blue.
Mr. Blue.
On Instagram. Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. We've also done drums at Archive. It's got a really good vibe over there for
Yeah.
sure.
So has your process still been, like, do you intentionally just go to Blue with more of a skeleton, or like are you writing, like what's your writing process like?
I mean, I guess we're still kind of figuring that out.
It varies.
Yeah,
Song to song.
naturally, and everybody's the same way. It would be impossible to be the same thing every single time. But are you guys just in band practice, jamming it out, kind of, and then forming ideas?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Most of the time I'll like bring a riff or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then me and Isaac will kind of just kind of hash it out and try and come up
Kind
with
of figure
parts.
out the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this goes into that kind of thing.
He also has riffs sometimes too.
Do this instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then we just kind of like have a structure generally,
Right.
and we take it to Blue, and you know, he helps us.
So
make it.
so then you kind of like, okay, this is what we're vibing on. Give it to you, and then you kind of just
Yeah.
digest it and kind of think, what's the story here, kind of
Exactly,
thing.
exactly. And then, sometimes Blue will help progress the lyrics
Right.
and, move it forward because I'll come with the structure and be like, this is what it could be about. And so then, sometimes I'll have verses completely written, whole song, and he's like, awesome. Or we'll take a step back and be like, what can we do to make this better?
Yeah, of
So
course.
then we'll all
yeah.
just, sit there, brainstorm, and then come up with the best possible lyrics for this song.
Mhm. Which is really great. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that. They obviously come in and be like, no, my idea's already solid, but you're not going to get to new, better places, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, so just curious what you guys' like influences are.
Oh, God.
A lot.
We'll go down the line. Brandon, you first.
Honestly, I just love music. I just listen to whatever. I really don't care if it sounds good, then I'll listen to it. Like I really don't like discriminate genre-wise, anything. Just
I think that translates then, because were you still doing the bass like an MHM?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that song's fun because you don't like expect it. In the verse, it kind of goes to that more funky bass groove. I'm like, oh, that's cool, because you don't expect it, but that really gives it a nice little spice. And the guitar kind of has just a little bit accents on there, kind of feeding back between each other, which is really fun and kind of new and different. That's why I say I like you guys' sound, because it's not, it's unique. It's not different. It's not different. It's not different. You guys sound like everybody else.
Get off the podcast.
You guys are going nowhere.
I guess for me, I really
I
like.
got a bear tooth thing on.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I actually don't take a ton of inspiration from them.
Okay.
I used to be really, really into them. I'm not super into the newest stuff, but.
Is it just like more heavier stuff, like Bring Me, or?
Personally, I really, really, really like stuff that like kind of blends like shoegaze and metal together. Like obviously Deftones. I really, really
Yeah.
like Loathe.
Yeah.
I literally never shut up about Loathe.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably why Blue likes you.
Yeah. That's why he works really well for us too. 'Cause we
Yeah.
have the same.
He's like, oh, I get what you get. Yeah, yeah.
I really love Loathe. I like. Of course, I can't think of anything.
No,
right
it's
now.
cool. Yeah. No, you're good. That's the kicker is as you get in the car and you're leaving, you're like, fuck, I should have said this, I should have said that.
Yeah.
Why did I say that shit? What the?
Yeah.
I like bands that have like really, really weird, super fucked up guitar shit. Like we're listening to Car Bomb on the way here.
Okay,
I really like them. I also like Sleep Token. They're pretty cool. Fleshwater is a huge one. I love Fleshwater.
But you kind of like that sound that's kind of, because it's always fun to see everybody's influences, because then when you can see, you're like, okay, I understand where everyone's kind of coming from, and then when you see what your guys' sound is, you're like, okay, it's kind of cool, you can kind of see who's, because obviously when you're bringing stuff to the music, you're bringing everything with you, everything you listen to, which is awesome that you listen to and digest everything, because that means the bass player will go to, you'll be the glue.
Yes.
What about you?
I grew up listening to Paramore when I was like 8 years old, playing one of her songs, a talent show on the drums, well, their song. But I take heavy inspiration from Haley Williams.
Okay.
So it's always been rooted, but then, like,
Yeah, they got great hooks.
oh yeah.
I can definitely hear that kind of influence coming through in like MHM, like when you get to that chorus.
Yeah,
Not the other
something
ones
harmonies,
aren't
yeah.
by any means, but yeah, for sure that one's like where that like hooky gets stuck in your head for
And
sure.
like as of recently, during early years of starting the band, I was really into like classic rock, so normally Joan Jett and all that shit.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned
Yeah,
the
and
Bad
then,
Reputation. That's
you
a good
know,
documentary.
I started moving towards like Judas Priest and stereotypical, but Metallica, and then it started to just progress into something so much more like, I love nu metal.
Okay,
Korn,
interesting.
Slipknot.
Wow, I would have seen that. Yeah, wow.
I love nu metal.
Interesting.
And then Spirit Box, getting into metalcore a little
Right,
bit.
yeah.
God.
I put drums, I put buckets.
This shit, shit.
Come on, you ask your mom if we can play night games?
Can I sleep over? Oh man, fuck. I think OG is gonna be the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah,
I've been listening to them
those
since
grooves.
5th grade. just awesome. So
You got an SJC kit, right? Did they custom make that for you, or did you just?
no,
make
it was just part of one of their lines that they had
Oh,
at
okay.
the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I like the front of the bass drum. You guys, did they do that one for you? Or did you
No,
have
so
someone
I
else?
actually I got it from a touring drummer that played for Spite. Actually,
Oh,
He
cool,
was
you got it
selling
used, that's
yeah,
nice.
So I was
Sick.
like, dude, I'll just throw that on mine, and it's how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, it
I'm
looks
like,
cool to
fuck
me.
yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, you just ruined it, but I don't know.
But yeah, but yeah.
But the
fucking
Peppers.
Peppers, 9 Inch Nails is a massive one. I'm obsessed with Trent Reznor. Slipknot, massive Limp Bizkit fan.
Yeah. It's interesting how those things, because like when we were growing up, that was like the worst. Like we like, you know, but it was what was all over the radios. It was like anti that for sure. That's so cool. It's funny how things come back around though, for sure. Hey there, Shredheads. We're just taking a little break to let you know that we got merch. And I'm not just talking about any kind of merch. I'm talking about the merch that you wear and you wear it around town. Onlyvans.com. We got merch, merch.com. It's not merch.com, but it's something. Bonfire, you guys shred merch. You know, it's like a walking billboard, but it's you, and it's really cool because you're supporting us and you look cool. You know, you got a van on fire, and that's what you're wearing. Onlyvans.com. But we also got big things coming soon, and with the big things coming soon, you can let everybody know that your band's got big things coming soon. You know, it's important that everyone knows at all times that you're out there, you're wearing it, and big things are coming soon. So go ahead and buy that. Buy our shit. Thanks. So I guess coming back to the no Jure, where does the name come from? You just pop it in Wikipedia or something? Name generated?
Name generator.
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Post Malone got his name.
I mean, it. A previous band member, we were just trying to brainstorm ideas.
Right. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just comes with a list, and it was no jurisdiction. And I'm like, that's a little long, you know. Like, you should.
Kind of a tongue twister, man.
Yeah, no jurisdiction. You know, so let's just cut off.
Was it your idea then to be like, no, let's just do no Jure?
I don't remember. I think we all just like came a cumulative idea, and we're like, okay, this could be good.
I think what he had on the list was actually, I think it was like declare no Jure.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know where he got the Jure from, but now we have none of it.
Yeah. That was just
Now we have none of it. None Jure.
None Jure.
Maybe
No,
we
yeah.
should have kept it jurisdiction, because people be like, is that French? I'm like, no, it is not French. Every time we have a show, I'll be like, we are no Jure. It is not French. Don't ask.
What does it mean in French?
I don't know. It's nothing.
It's not even a word.
Oh, they
Sounds
just
like-
ask if it's,
yeah.
that's a
We're
thing?
just making
Yeah.
up words.
Oh, you guys talking about it, now everyone's gonna ask.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a thing now.
You just lean into it.
Just sounds
Yeah.
French.
We are no Jure! It's from Paris!
It's French.
This song is called Imagem! And just one of those and just going,
Yeah.
please do that. From now on, every time you see me on a show, do that. We are no Jure from Paris!
It's a nice show.
It'd be funny. You could pull it off. You kind of look French.
Yeah?
Yeah. You can pull it off.
Okay.
No one's gonna know, except for all your friends. Are like, wait, what? I'm from Utah.
She really said they're not French.
Yeah.
You said they're not. We're not French. We are no Jure from France.
Change it like every show.
Yeah.
After everything, it's just we.
We're not friends.
Baguette.
Okay.
Instead of blood. Do you have any ones where you? Just
I mean-
baguette.
Not yet.
Sometimes I'll just
Ratatouille.
throw out a scream, you know, during our live shows, and I'll just be like, baguette.
Yes.
Actually do it.
I will.
Before the breakdown of Judgment Day, instead of go, just say,
Alright, we'll hold it to you. We're gonna hold you to it.
Okay. Oh man,
Oh man.
that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not good though.
It's black belt. We could do it, you know?
So was it hard, like, kind of giving the reins to another drummer at all? Like, do you still have any?
Or did you? I guess, or was it easier because you could be like, oh no, this part's.
I mean, at first it was a little hard because I'm like, oh, those are my babies. You know, I love playing drums. It's so much fun.
Was his drum kit
But-
nicer?
Yes. Yeah, I have a Pearl export kit. It's like 7 Ps. Got the double kit. It's kind of.
Oh, you got the rack mount?
Yeah. Well, not the rack, but just like off the cymbal mount. So not like. Anyways.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I know. At first, I was like, this is a little weird because I'm sitting there like itching my arm. You know, and there were sometimes I'll propose ideas. You know, like we'll be starting the structure of a song. I'm like, this could possibly be cool here.
Paradiddles,
You know.
man.
Paradiddles.
Throw a triple.
But, you know, I've basically given him full control now, as he should, as the drummer. But, you know, if I do have an idea, I'll be like, can I hop on real quick? We should try this. But, yeah.
So for the other songs then, were you trying to just kind of copy what she had already done, or you're like, I'll just kind of do my own thing and you guys were cool with that?
Yeah, so they have one other song kind of written, so I just kind of went with that, and then after that we just started writing new material.
Oh, so yeah, then anyway.
So I had to learn their songs that were out, and then like one more, and then we just kind of shifted into the writing process.
I bet it's easier though if you have another drummer in the band. Let's say
I was
give
gonna
some
say, it's
yeah.
a little easier because if you're not hearing something, she could be like, "Hey, there you go."
Also, I love when guitarists try to tell drummers like, no man, it's like like dude, what the fuck did you just say?
Practice.
Yeah,
And
dude.
just try to like, it's like I'm terrible at this, but like try to
I
like.
literally did this on Wednesday.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, you can't not, and then you have to do this.
You're like, what about
I
just
was like, yeah, what if you just like,
Yeah, this
maybe try like a da, like maybe a faster hi-hat or something.
Someone needs to make an app where you just like, okay, and then you scan like a video of them doing that and it just translates it into, like on the grid you see the drums program out after you like video the guitar player. That would be funny, or at least a meme. That'd be a good meme.
Google Drum Translate.
Yeah. Google
that,
drums. What is he saying? I don't know.
What is guitar player saying?
Yeah, what is he saying?
Well, it happens the same way too, like the other way around all the time. I'd be like, no, wait, go.
Yeah, you're like, no, there's a
No,
harmony.
wait,
There's a
go-
note there. I don't know what it is.
Go 1 fret up. No, it's 2 frets. And then
Yeah, you're just like ding, ding,
Or
ding,
just
ding,
like,
ding, ding. It doesn't happen nearly as often as guitarists to the drummers, though, unfortunately.
absolutely. Yeah. I'm very guilty of that.
All guitar players are. You can't not. You can't
Yeah.
not do that.
I just need to learn how to program drums. That's what I need to do.
Shit's hard.
You should just start using
Try it.
GarageBand.
Yeah, you just program them in.
Do this real quick.
So when did you guys? We can just go down the line once again. We'll start this way though, because we went that way. last
Yeah.
time. But like when you started playing music, or like what was your first memory of playing music?
Gosh.
Gosh.
It was like,
Were you the kid that had like got all the pots and pans out of the?
yeah,
pans and-
literally, it was funny because I remember like banging on my pillows with like the garage band sticks and not even like realizing that I was like.
Well, rock band sticks.
Yeah, the rock band sticks, whatever, and not realizing that I was like kind of good at it. So then my parents put me in drum lessons in like 5th grade or something.
Oh, you're that kid that like, I'm so sick of hearing him bang on everything.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
him
I'm like
some
hitting
lessons
the
or at least-
table, I'm
yeah.
always like hitting shit.
Yeah.
So then finally I got into it. I was like, oh, I'm really good at this because I spent like all my childhood years trying to play like sports and shit. And
So you never played guitar or anything else? It was always just drums.
Yeah, I took like guitar lessons in school just to fill up the
Oh,
class
right,
period.
right.
Yeah, it's always been drums. So
Was that the same for you as well? The pots and pans and wedding bangs?
Yeah, I know. And I got my first kit
Guitar
at 7
players.
years old.
At 7?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my parents went out of their way, for Christmas one year, and they're like, let's get her a junior kit. So it started out, and
But also same thing, just
Yeah.
started with drums.
yeah, I started
That's
with
cool,
drums,
you
but I
guys' parents
also
are supportive.
liked singing. I'd be singing my little heart out while I'm playing the drums, and this is kind of.
Do you remember what
off track.
songs, or are you making your own songs up?
It was making it up, and
Yeah, I love it.
I do
also
that shit
like when
all
I
the
was in that band, with all those teenage boys. When I was like 7, they
Right.
gave me a CD to listen to learn songs, to play, and it,
For covers?
yeah, and it was No Doubt.
Okay.
I can't remember which song.
Just more like ska stuff as well, or just No
A
Doubt was the
little.
only one?
And then they would throw on the random AC/DC song.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
funny, the band name was Quarantine. Yeah.
You guys should have stuck with that.
Yeah, we would have hit it
Yeah.
big.
Think about the search engine. Like when 2020 hit, you guys would have been boom.
That's
Yeah,
fact.
that's
You wouldn't-
Fizzle.
No, you wouldn't have ever found them because they.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
then maybe it's better you changed it
Yeah.
then. What about you, Isaac? When did you start playing Git Fiddle?
I think I was like 11 when I started.
A little bit later.
Yeah, my family plays music, like
Oh, okay.
all of them. Like, on my mom's side, my uncle, at the time, who was doing this thing, he like used to own this build your own guitar kit company.
Oh, okay.
Fret
Yeah,
Wire.
yeah, I remember those. I guess they're still around, but
Yeah, and he had access to a lot of cool stuff.
was he making like the bodies and everything himself, and then just sell, or is he just buying and
He
reselling?
was buying and reselling.
Oh, okay. That's not as cool as making the stuff yourself.
And he had this. I don't know if you've ever heard of the company Maestro.
I think I have.
They have some like really old fuzz pedals that are pretty.
Yeah, they're like
famous.
sought after, right? Yeah.
But they also make really, really, really bad guitars.
Yeah.
It's like Epiphone if it was even worse. And I had this, and I was super stoked about this at the time because I was really into Green Day. He gave me this like white Les Paul Jr.
One pickup or two?
One pickup.
Okay.
And I just kind of taught myself on that for a while.
That's way cool. Yeah.
And I had
Especially if you were stoked on Green Day, you're like, yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
The strings are like this high off the fretboard.
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
yeah.
My Les Paul, man.
You all need a setup.
Yeah. But yeah, I've just kind of been self-taught. I want to take
YouTube kid?
Yes.
YouTube University is what we call it.
Yeah, YouTube and just learn stuff by ear.
Yeah. I mean, I used to work at a music store, and everyone would always be like, you gotta get an acoustic guitar first, right? I'm like, nah, man.
No.
Like, whatever, if your kid is stoked on electric and they want to play that, and you get them an acoustic, you're gonna bum them out, and they're not gonna want to play. But if you get them electric and let them just be inspired on their own, that's half the battle. They're not gonna want to play or practice if they don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's way cool that you had an uncle that actually cared, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you like Green Day?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's a hill I'll die on. Is
Green Day?
No, Green Day. No one should ever. I don't. Unless you are wanting to play acoustic stuff, you should not start on acoustic guitar because
Yeah.
they're bigger and they're harder to play.
Yeah, they
the
are.
Strings are thicker.
Yeah,
And
that's why they're like, who needs to play first? Like, who
Yeah.
cares?
It's like no.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I started on an electric guitar because it was just gave me the right start.
Yeah,
to
and
learning.
you're not playing acoustic music now
Right,
anyways. It's
exactly.
like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Before I forget, what color was your drum kit? Did you guys
The
both
first-
say what color your drum kits were? The first drum kits?
My first drum kit was black, but my current pearl kit is like a metallic gray.
Oh, so you still play drums then?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
without a
I
doubt.
still
I love
What-
the drums. I can never give them back.
Love it.
Gosh, then my kit right now is black, but my first kit was a red argent.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Are those guys are from Utah, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they were local, right? And then they went out of business or something.
Yeah, I wonder why they went out of business.
It's not good.
Yeah, so got that, and then, tried to make that sound good, but yeah.
So, that's cool, man. What was your first experience? Music.
So fucking so weird. I was trying to learn guitar, like, cause I had like a drummer friend when I was in like 7th grade or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked up the guitar and I was like, yeah, let's jam like Arctic Monkeys or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And then like, I don't know. Then I was just like, I don't know, this is like.
The guitar just wasn't clicking for you.
Yeah, it's just like, but then like.
How does the bass come into
The
play?
bass, it also was with like Green Day. I was like
Yeah.
listening to like Longview and shit like that, and like just like a bunch of like bass heavy songs,
Mhm.
and I was like, this sounds way cooler.
Yeah.
And like this is so weird, but my guitar or my music teacher back in like middle school,
Mhm.
he had a bass, but he like left the school. And he like forgot all his like
No way.
music stuff at the school, so I stole his bass look.
What kind of bass was it?
It was, I don't know, it was like a Dean or something. It was like some cheap bass.
Okay, so nothing fancy,
Yeah,
but
it
you're
was-
like, free bass.
I just stole it out of his like music room, and I was like, this is so cool. Like this feels way better. And
Do you think you would have gone to bass if you wouldn't have had that experience?
Honestly, I was thinking about moving to bass. I was like, I just like.
But it just expedited the process
Yeah, I
because
was
you
like-
still won.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
Well, he
bass
left
right
it.
here.
It was gonna stay there anyways.
Yeah,
it's all
exactly.
good.
I took it and I just.
Statute of limitations, right?
But then my other friend, he also played bass and he wanted it, so I gave it to him for some stupid reason.
It's because you're a nice guy.
You're like, look, if this ever comes back to me, like I'm just telling him you took it.
Yeah.
At your house.
Yeah.
So,
Technically, yeah. There's no trace.
yeah. And then my mom was like, "Oh, you like bass, huh?" So she got me a fretless.
It sounds like she was making fun.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, you like bass?"
Oh, you like bass?
I was just like, "Mom,
Turkey?
I love this instrument. I don't want to play the guitar. It's stupid." So she got me
Which is like the opposite of every kid. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
So yeah, so I got a fretless to start on.
Oh shit.
So yeah, and it was cool, and that's how I learned most of shit I know.
Yeah, that like, you almost like baptism by fire if you're going fretless. No one can touch you now.
Yeah, he's a god. He is.
Was it easy locking in with each other when you joined?
Yeah, actually, it's very easy.
Because that's like you'll find out if you don't have like a good drummer or bass player, your band sucks. You gotta have that.
We're constantly just jamming weird shit at practice.
Yeah.
Let's
Fuck
do a
yeah.
weird bass groove.
Hell yeah, that's how you get to new places for sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, and then for some reason I was like, I don't like fretless anymore, so I just got frets on my bass. Yeah.
the same bass you put frets on?
No, I like bought.
Damn, that's a feat.
I bought like a used neck from some dude on Craigslist, and I just put it on my fretless,
Oh, okay,
and so yeah.
right on.
Craigslist.
I don't know. I'm very weird. I'm so backwards. I don't know why I did the things I did, but yeah.
Is that what's gonna be on your tombstone, Brandon? I'm really weird. I do things
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. So how would you say, like, obviously you guys have been together now for a while. How is the writing process and just like how you guys are like cohesive and working together now versus when you kind of started?
I guess the way we used to do things is we would just kind of like, there wouldn't be anything before like coming and trying to write something. We would just kind of like get together in like her bedroom with her drums and everything. Just
Start
kinda-
from actual scratch.
Yeah, just kind of jam. And like before, like when we had the other members in the band, they had it would kind of just be them bringing stuff. We had a guy that was super into like Satriani and
Oh wow.
and like Rush and stuff like
Different
that.
sound for sure.
Yeah, and so we would just kind of like do see that vision out, but eventually they left and we had to kind of like figure out how to write stuff
Yeah.
for ourselves.
Well, like also when you're first starting out, any riff, like, well, I don't know if this applies to everyone, but like it's so exciting once you hear like a decent riff. You're like, let's use it. And you listen to it back, a couple years later, and you're like, that sounds like shit.
Yeah.
Because you're just like so eager to get music out.
Were you guys recording yourselves at that point or something?
We weren't recording. I would just literally. I actually still do this. I just whip on my phone and put it in voice notes.
Yeah.
And I just play it.
That's how, I do the same thing because it's the quickest to get your ideas down. Just pop that out real quick.
Yeah.
But you would put out that audio?
No.
Oh, that's what you were saying. I was like, damn, that's bad.
We would just, be excited and eager. We're like, this sounds like a halfway decent riff. Let's throw lyrics on it and make it a song. But we didn't put that into full effect. But like when we were first jamming, like, oh my god, this could be so good. And we had like 4 unwritten songs that we would try to complete at practice, and your brain was exploding.
Right.
But
But you gotta, that's what you guys were learning how to write songs.
Exactly.
You gotta get through that process. Everyone's gotta start that. You can't just, I guess there's some people that just start off right away.
Yeah.
We all can't be Carter from Sunfish and have our parents pay for June audio.
Speaking of Carter though, he's actually like the.
Fuck him. He's so nice and like,
He's so nice.
we had
believes in us and stuff.
we had the homestyle dinner rolls, dude, and the first thing they said to me like, dude, Carter from Sunfish, too tall.
Honestly, yeah. Man. way too much Carter.
You're too big. Just kidding. What were you saying, sir?
I mean, at least personally for me, like when I was able to go on tour with them and hang out with them, and you know, like with the musicians that were in the band at the time, just kind of like get to know them. It was like super validating to be able to like, you know, show people some of my ideas and like, you know, my playing, and have them be like, hey, that's cool. Like,
Oh, they're showing like no Jure songs?
yeah, or
Oh,
like
cool.
just like random ideas that I have, and they're like, yeah, like, hey man, I really like what you play. This is cool. And like having that kind of validation,
Yeah.
for me personally at least, has been the biggest thing that has helped me to keep writing new stuff.
Yeah.
It's because I can finally like like when I have an idea, I can like have the confidence to see it through, and not like halfway through just be like, oh, this is stupid.
Right, because when you get in your own head, it's easy to get to that spot of
Yeah.
like you're too close to the canvas. You're like, is this good? Is it not good? I don't know.
Yeah,
But then when you
exactly.
get like other people around you, you get a community to actually give you actual feedback and not just be, you know, blow smoke up your ass or be
Yeah.
douches to you, but actually be cool and friendly and
Yeah.
be like, no, this is really cool. This is something you just got to work on a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice. I feel like that when you. It's also like I feel like when you find your band, it's like a.
Yes.
It's like a family, it's like a community, and you get everyone else, and then you can actually be vulnerable and share thoughts and ideas. And then when you
Yes.
get the right people together and it's cohesive, it's easier to take those things to the next level. Like you said, like working with Blue, it's easy to take things to him because he's gonna understand. Be like, okay, this is cool, yeah, but this is how we're gonna make it better.
Right.
Or maybe we change this piece or whatever else. It's easier to get to those places if they have that trust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's another thing I really love about Blue, is that he will tell me if it's a bad idea.
Mm.
I'll tell you. He'll let
Yeah.
you know. He'll be like, yo,
This is
that's not it.
Yeah.
man."
Yeah.
Which
But
is
that's
good.
okay though. Yeah,
it's
you need
good.
not every idea you're gonna have is gonna be amazing. You gotta get you need that. You need the outsider that's out, you know, away from the canvas to help you guys see the full vision.
How else are you gonna grow?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Because not all your ideas are gonna be good, and you at least have to have some, you know, sane person to tell you, be like, hey, I know you're so like excited about this, but it's not gonna go well in the long run, you know.
Yeah.
Just be like, let's just reform it a little bit. Let's try a different melody.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
change this lyric a little bit, and then it'll click, and I'll be like, holy shit, that sounds so much better. Thank
Right.
you for, you know.
But when you're too close to the canvas, or you're like too attached to the piece, you're like, I can't. Why would I change it? Yeah. But if you actually can step back, you're like, oh no, that makes sense.
That's why it's a little bit easier to come up with a skeleton, like a rough draft of
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
So we can be like, this is like the vibes we're going for. What can we do to take to the next step to make it that much better?
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
Like-
And it shows. It shows. I feel you can definitely kind of. I mean, you only have 3 songs out,
Yeah.
but you can definitely see the difference between MHM and then Get Away at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah. And then I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't got to hear any of your new tunes yet, but I'm sure they'll be just as great. Not saying that MHM is bad by any means, obviously.
Right.
It's just different because you guys have been growing. That was
Yeah.
2021 or whatever. Now these are 2023. So
Exactly.
for sure. In Cover My Eyes, I was kind of curious. You got the little sound drops in there, like in I think the intro and then like the bridge and kind of the
Yes,
outro there.
that's
What who is it and what are they saying?
I don't remember what his name is, but he's like some Baptist, like, I don't know if he's like a priest or like a,
So it's like it was taken from like a speech.
yeah, it was some speech at Madison Square Garden.
What was it about? Do you remember?
It was, I don't remember.
Second Coming.
Yeah.
It was about that?
The clip
Yeah.
he's reading is like from scripture, and it's like he's talking about the second coming
It's like
Mm.
if
and all
you're,
that shit. And
if
he's
you're not holy, if you know, you don't
Yeah.
pay your dues, you're gonna die in the second coming. Satan's gonna take you, basically.
So where did the inspiration come for that? And then I guess to kind of digest more into like the lyrics, like the rose petals cover my eyes and all that. Like,
Yeah.
can you kind of talk more about that?
The subject matter of the song is about like, because I was raised Mormon,
Mhm.
and kind of like, especially at that time in my life, I had just turned 18, and I was like really discovering. I was like, okay, like I'm like, this isn't something that I want to be
Right.
a part of my
Yeah.
life.
We all kind of get to that where
Right.
you're
Yeah.
finally. Because I can talk to this as well because I was also raised LDS, and when you get to that 18 years old age or whatever else, you're able to go out and live on your own and make your own decisions. But for all of us that I guess it's hard from the outside perspective if you're not grown religiously, but it's like, if you're gonna be in my house, you have to, you know, that kind of attitude, which I'm sure is the same kind of thing. So when you turn 18, you're like, oh, actually, I can make this decision by myself now.
Yeah.
Then you start to learn more things.
That's
Yeah.
like basically what the song is about, is you are
Mhm.
discovering yourself, whether it be, you know, because you were affiliated with some group that kind of clouded your judgment a little bit,
Mhm.
not saying, you know,
Right.
wrong, but
Right.
like you finally start to want to be yourself, you discover yourself, and you're like, this isn't the same values that I want to be a part of.
Right.
And, you know, so you kind of have these rose-colored glasses on a
Mhm.
little bit, and you're going out into the, you know, real world, so to say, and you're like, holy shit, this is what I've been missing my whole life.
Interesting.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like,
cool.
you're just discovering yourself, and, you know, as much as it might hurt falling away from your roots,
Mhm.
you know, it's everything that you wanted and more. It's, you know, the life you always sought.
Yeah, like the
Pretty much.
caterpillar to the butterfly kind of
Exactly.
thing. That's the kind of fun thing. I mean, that's what's cool about songs, anyways, is they're like diary entries. You know what I mean? So it's obviously hard to compare them because it's like, oh, this diary entry is better than this one, you know? Because obviously they're different. That's why like MHM's obviously going to be different than Getaway or the next tune because you guys are constantly growing, you're learning, you're moving on, you know?
Yeah.
And your lives are changing as well. Like I said, you bring everything out of that to the table.
Exactly.
So what can we kind of expect from these new tunes then?
Well, the next
Same
one,
kind of vibe as Getaway?
actually, the next one that's coming out
Even
is,
heavier.
It's gonna be kind of more back towards the direction of Cover My Eyes a little bit,
Mhm.
but a little bit heavier. It's similar subject matter, and it's less about like Cover My Eyes is very much like, you know, everything that I believe my whole life has turned out to not be.
And it's like finding yourself.
Right.
But this next one that we're releasing is called Judgment Day,
Mhm.
and it's more, it's kind of like turning around and being like, this is, in our opinions, this is fucked up, and
Yeah.
you people are
This
judgmental
is the-
and like,
The shit you put me through,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm gonna
Right.
make you see it.
Right.
And you are so good. You're gonna be, you know, this amazing person in your eyes until, you know, the day comes and you're actually a big piece of shit. You know?
In our opinion.
Pretty much, in our opinion. But yeah, it's just like, you treat me like this, but you're actually a big piece of shit. But you can't see it. You can't see it because you're, you know, too blinded by your
Right.
own ignorance.
Yeah, you got blinders on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right.
Like, nobody's perfect. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
People can say they're, like, religious as hell, and, like, but you've got your flaws, like.
Yeah, everyone,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all human, and it's that kind of thing of like, I don't really trust anybody that says they have it all figured out, because none of us know, and there's only so much information, you know, it's so little, so.
Like, I hate to tie in religion so much to our songs, but
Well, at least
We live in
these couple
yeah,
group ones that are
yeah.
kind of subject matter, but.
like, we've all experienced it in some form, whether you're a part of it or not. You still experience it to a degree,
Mhm.
you know. So we've all had some sort of affiliation, you know, with said group, and it's just, you know, just the years of experience and anger, so to say, that's built up.
Right.
And,
It's your, I mean, it's your own experience, and no one can say what, you know, it's your opinions, it's your experience, you can say whatever you want about that, yeah.
Exactly.
No one can
So-
change that.
Yeah, it's just like trying to get the word out, be like, God, because this kind of sucked, you know?
Right, but you need to
here
get
we
through
are.
that, that's I mean, music is like therapy, you know,
Yeah,
you need to get that out, and then
exactly.
also, maybe some other kid that's going through the same things you were going through hears it, and it helps them get through it.
exactly.
So, I mean, that's what it's all about.
That's what I was.
You put your left right in. You can't not say it's all about, not do the hokey pokey.
That's what I was really excited about with Cover My Eyes,
Mhm.
is because like that was, she did like a really good job of writing the lyrics about with that, and like it was very much like it made me really happy to know that like a band that's like in our genre is like writing about this specific experience with this specific group. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it is definitely. I know that there is definitely certain things about leaving the LDS church that are unique to that experience, and it just makes me happy to know that, like, you know, hopefully in the future, someone else who is, you know, like me who likes this kind of music can find some relatability in a song like that,
Right.
you know, and just kind of, and the same thing with Judgment Day. I'm hoping it'll be kind of the same thing. I think Judgment Day will come across a little bit better, to be honest. But yeah, that's.
I think you guys are doing, I mean, you're heading in the right direction, of course. Obviously, it's connecting with people. If you're people fighting over the set list and having a good time.
Singing the lyrics.
Hearing the lyrics, being
yeah.
energetic and having a time. It's obviously working, and it's something to be said about that for sure. MHM and Cover My Eyes were both released in the same year. What was, because it's like you're saying with Cover My Eyes, it almost seems like there was a musical switch in a sense. I mean, obviously it's still you guys, but what was the switch between the two? Because were those two songs done with Flip, and then obviously Getaway is done with Blue? But what was the difference between MHM and Cover My Eyes that switched?
MHM and Cover My Eyes, or
Were they both done by Flip?
MHM and Cover My Eyes were both done by Flip.
Okay.
MHM, honestly, like.
What does that mean, by the way? Secrets. Secret time.
So in the chorus, you know, singing Mud Honey Mask.
Oh,
And
okay.
in that sense, I wrote it when I was in high school, so it's a little weird. But
Once again, diary entry. It's all good. It's all good.
exactly.
No, that's cool. Mud Honey
It's
Mask,
like
yeah.
every day you have a choice. You can put on a mask, or you can actually be who you are. And you know, at the time, you know, I was about to graduate, and they're like, "All right, are you going to college?"
Right, yeah. It's stressful.
And, you know, and I'm like, "No." They're like, "What do you want to do?" Because they'll pull you into the office, and they're like, "What can we do to help you with your future career?"
I remember that.
And I was like, "Well, there's not much you can do because I want to do music." And they're like, "All right," and they shut the door and I walked out. So
Yeah, they're basically
Well, good
like,
luck
good
with
luck.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So then that song was like, okay, you can either conform to a normal and comfortable life,
Right.
you know, put on that mask. And Mud Honey, it's great. Mud is very dark and gross in a sense, and then Honey is very light and sweet. And you can put on that mask, and you can put on your happy face, and you can just, like I said, live that normal, comfortable life, and then think, oh man, wouldn't it have been cool if I would have done that? Well, it's too late now. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, you
kinda
don't want to live
just
your
like,
life with what if, for sure.
yeah, exactly. So that whole song is kind of just like being sarcastic, put on your Mud Honey mask. Like, go live that comfortable life if you're, you know, you're just so eager. So, yeah, that's kind of what is that Mud Honey mask.
Interesting. So, do you find then with all these music, then you have to kind of be in that like more, you know, heavier mindset of things when you're writing this kind of music then?
I would
Because it sounds like
definitely-
everything you've said is like all angry.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's like, I have a lot of built up.
What? There's
things in my
nothing
life.
wrong with that. That's
Yeah,
you
that
gotta
I've
get it out
not
in the
been able
music.
to
Yeah.
express.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
it's coming out in the music right now, you know, so I gotta get all that shit off my plate.
Yeah.
I feel like collectively, you know, we all have some, you know, repressed stuff that
Right.
is starting to surface and show in our music. And then, you know, eventually I'm sure we'll come up with some other things.
It's so cool. It's so cool though, because like I said, you get the heavy music, and then especially Cover My Eyes. I don't think like you have those beautiful vocals to match it, but your lyrics aren't beautiful. It's like I'm angry, I'm pissed off. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. There's, you know, beautiful moments within the anger, but
So what would like musically then? Was MHM you playing drums and then you did Cover My Eyes?
I also did Cover My Eyes.
Okay.
So I did Cover My Eyes and MHM for drums and vocals, and then yeah, that was it for drums, and then I just did vocals for Getaway.
So what switched then? Because like the drums sound different in MHM to compared to Cover My Eyes.
Mixing.
Mixing. Oh, okay. Also,
Yeah.
is there a snare hit in the chorus?
Oh, this is.
I asked them this when I was first started.
Because the more I listen to it, because I was like, I think there is one. I do kind of hear it in there, but the first couple times listening to it, it just sounds like, and I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. Like no snare hit in the chorus. That's tight.
Yeah, that's what we
Because it builds tension. But there is.
There is a snare. Because of the way that it's mixed, it sounds like a floor tom.
Oh, we don't need to like call them out.
Yeah.
We don't need to go.
Yeah, no.
I think
That's,
that
No, it sounds cool. There's nothing wrong with it.
there's not. I think the main issue with that is that it's just the vision. You know, I just think
Yeah.
Flip. I love him. I just don't think he knew like what genre we're going for.
Right, you're still getting
Exactly.
used to it, and he's obviously he's only been recording for so long. You know, he's still learning and doing stuff too.
And I
But-
still love the song. Like it.
No, it's great. There's nothing wrong with it for sure.
I was emotional when it came out and when we got it.
I feel like I touched a nerve when I said that. You guys are all like, ooh, ooh.
That's just something we all have noticed. It's like, yeah, this is a phenomenon. I don't know.
Well, if it's worth anything, I thought it was cool. Like, I thought it was cool, because I don't know if I've ever heard a chorus without a snare. I mean, but it's there. But, I mean, I thought that was cool, though. Yeah, so, for what it's worth, it's not a bad thing.
No, sorry.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
I didn't mean to. I'm not.
Fuck you, Flip!
Please, I love it. He's so nice. He literally.
Yeah, it was
is
just a
nice.
joke. Yeah, he's really great. When Blue was their band, Extortionist was here, they were talking about, he had his gear break once and Flip literally, like, unplugged all his stuff and, like, let him walk. Yeah, Flip's a great guy.
He's so nice.
He actually, my noise gate was broken when we played our Kilby show with Acacia Ridge,
Mhm.
and he literally drove to his house and got his decimator. For
That's so
use.
tight, yeah.
He's awesome.
I got one of those if you need it.
Gotta keep
Decimator 2.
Gotta
Yeah.
keep track of all the decimators.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you know whose is whose. If you don't got it, I know how that sounds.
Eat it.
Thank you guys so much for coming on again and bearing the snowstorm. You guys got a show tonight, but obviously this will come out in a couple weeks. But like, what some shows coming up?
We're playing
Cool.
at the Shredder with Portraits and Ingrown.
Cool.
We're really excited for
What
that.
date is that?
It's gonna be June 23rd.
Oh, that's way out.
It's just pretty far out. And then we've got one that we're doing that probably won't happen before this is out, but it's April 5th at the Beehive with Exanimate
Cool.
and Ryle.
And where can people find you on like social media and stuff?
Instagram at no.jure.band, and we're on Facebook too. I think it's no.jure.band.
Sunfish. Because the other ones were taken. We've all heard that. I hope he listens to this, because we're talking shit like the entire time.
Too tall. You're
Too tall,
gifted,
too handsome, too nice, fuck you.
Parents are so nice.
Parents are nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, we can. So, yeah, no.jure band.
We'll have tons of
Yeah, all the Spotify, iTunes, check them out, yeah.
We're
What-
pretty sweet.
We're pretty sweet. Where can they find your merch? You got just like the link in the...
Yeah, we do have merch on our Bandcamp. All of our stuff is at the link in our bio. We were on Instagram mostly, so that's
Yeah.
the best place to look for our stuff, I guess.
Far out, yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming on again. Check them out if you haven't already. No Jure.
Thanks for listening to You Guys Shred.